Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
After 2 very windy days, our Friday weather has been a welcome change. True to form, people around here usually try to take advantage of the nicer conditions.
We caught up with some who were beginning their weekend with a bicycle ride, but as we all know, the weather changes around these parts, and that will be happening sooner rather than later. For those with Friday night outdoor plans, let's get the latest from meteorologist Justin Fanfarelli. Justin?
And thank you, Andrea and Mike, and good evening, everybody. Temperatures a little cooler compared to yesterday, but near normal for this time of year, as we saw plenty of sunshine. 58 our high temperature right now in Fargo, 50 at Bemidji, 54 at Jamestown. A little cooler out toward Devil's Lake. They're at 48 degrees. Now, the satellite loop showing that we are seeing mostly clear to partly cloudy skies across the region. We are staying mainly dry with the exception of the Devil's Lake Basin up toward Langdon, where they are seeing a few passing sprinkles, but that is basically it for the moisture as we go through this evening. Temperatures falling into the 50s and then through the 40s. We're going to see low temperatures close to that 40-degree mark as we cloud up but stay dry during the overnight period. Now, we've got periods of rain moving through as we go through the day on Saturday as temperatures are cooler, but there's more of this really nice weather ahead. We'll tell you when coming up later in the newscast.
All right, I like the sound of that. Thank you, Justin. And make sure you have the Valley News Live Storm Team weather app so that you can keep up with the weather anytime, anywhere. You'll get the latest forecasts and conditions so that you can plan your day. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store and download it for free.
We have a developing story now out of Monoman County, Minnesota, as authorities there are warning the public about a flurry of drug overdoses that has led to the death of a person in the last 24 hours. The sheriff's office says 23-year-old Marissa Sargent of Nadawash died from an apparent heroin overdose. Investigators also are looking into 3 other overdoses on the White Earth Reservation. If you have any information, you're asked to call the Monoman County Sheriff's Office at 218-935-2255 or White Earth Police at 218-983-3281. Now, we have a crew in Monoman County at this hour. We'll have more on this story tonight on Valley News Live at 9 on the Fargo CW and on Valley News Live 10 at 10.
A man is facing multiple felony charges after allegedly shooting at a plane in Polk County, Minnesota. Court documents say Chad Olson of Fertile is facing attempted murder and second-degree assault charges after he fired off a shot at a passing plane near the Fertile Municipal Airport. No one was injured in the incident. Bail for Olson was set at $200,000.
Distracted driving continues to cause problems. Yesterday, a driver was ticketed for being distracted and causing a crash on the Red River Bridge.
Highway patrol officers say they're frustrated, adding that there's only so much they can do. Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer shows you how law enforcement officials hope to put a stop to these types of crashes.
Is a text message that I'm getting today as important as somebody's life?
Highway Patrol Captain Brian Niewind has probably seen it all. Niewind has seen drivers putting on makeup, eating, and even reading a book. He and his fellow officers are fed up. They've worked overtime to catch distracted drivers, and they wanted to stop.
Lives have been lost because people have been Snapchatting when they've been driving. They've been texting while they've been driving. They're distracted while they're driving.
Across the country, more than 3,400 people were killed in just 1 year from distracted driving. And as technologies are advancing, the number of distractions is increasing.
All the things you can do while you're driving with that vehicle, and it's distracting. So it's not just having a radio on anymore in a vehicle. It's having a phone with you. It's having technology. You can see stuff on your actual screen while you're driving.
And before you jump to conclusions, it's not just millennials getting distracted.
It's all ages. It's not one particular age versus another. I think we're doing a pretty good job, with the younger ages and making sure they're wearing their seatbelts. Kids have grown up in car seats. They've always heard the message, don't be texting and driving, don't be on your phone while you're driving.
Legislators across the country are pushing laws aimed at preventing distracted driving. Some are stricter than others. In North Dakota and Minnesota, it's illegal to read and compose an electronic message while on the road.
If you fail to maintain control of your vehicle while you're driving down the roadway and you're distracted by any number of things, it can be anything. If you're distracted and you're driving, you fail to maintain control of that vehicle, you can be cited for that as well.
But laws can only go so far. It's really up to you. In Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
By the way, the driver in last night's crash got a ticket for causing an accident while distracted. This law just went into effect in North Dakota 2 months ago.
A fugitive sex offender from Red Lake County, Minnesota, has been arrested in Colorado. 27-year-old Kyle Mizuko, formerly of Oakley, was arrested Wednesday in Hugo, Colorado. There was a warrant out for failure to register in Minnesota. Investigators say he didn't notify authorities when he left his home in February.
The Barnes County Sheriff's Office is notifying the public about a registered sex offender living in the area. 29-year-old Trisha Bliss is living at 230 2nd Street in Eccleston, North Dakota. Bliss was convicted back in 2014 on 2 counts of gross sexual imposition, which are felonies. The victim was a 14-year-old boy. She's listed as a moderate risk and is required to stay registered for the next 24 years.
Hundreds of nurses in North Dakota are talking about the future of their profession in the state and the issues that they're facing.
Many of them say that as populations grow and age, nurses are having a hard time keeping up. Reporter Megan Hoffman has the story.
Longer wait times, fewer resources, more hours, and more pressure. Nurse practitioner Tara Brander, who works in the rural community of Ashley, says she's seeing all those issues due to a nursing shortage.
We are short. It's just with retirement turnovers. That's why we are short.
The issue is being felt across the state.
We are indeed in a crisis in North Dakota.
According to the North Dakota Board of Nursing, there's a 13% shortage of nurse practitioners and a 7% shortage of registered nurses. Stacy Fenning says anything above 5% is considered critical. But for months now, they've been working on how to address the situation.
And we have a great action plan that we are bringing forward today and tomorrow, and we're hoping to get even more ideas from the nurses here today and tomorrow to help us create more nurses. How can North Dakota get more nurses?
Brander says they're working with colleges to get more nursing students into rural areas during clinicals, hoping to get them excited about working there. For now, though, they're focusing on patients and patient care until the crisis passes.
We are still looking out for them. It's patient-centered. Everything is always patient-centered. We're doing the best we can with what we have, with what resources we have.
Officials also say expanding nursing programs at the state's colleges and universities and working to keep young nurses in the state will help solve the shortage.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, hear from a boy who is threatening court action if the state of Minnesota won't change its rules on dancing.
Up next, a North Dakota couple is heading to court after their plans to adopt fall through.